Saints went 9-8 last year. They added Tyron
Mathieu. Oh, I thought we erased that clip.
I almost missed it. Actually, I was about to mispronounce it, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, I don't have a button." They added
Tyron Mathieu,
Marcus May, Jarvis Landry, Daniel Sorensen, Andy Dalton, Tucker Charlton. They lost Teron Armstead, a big loss. They also lost Malcolm Jenkins to retirement, and Marcus Williams, another huge loss in free agency. The Saints total over under 8.5 at the over -130. What do you think about New Orleans, Breech?
I mean, look, they went 9-8 last year with Jameis Winston being hurt for half the season. So the fact that Sean Payton somehow willed that team to 9 wins really seems kind of amazing. But it was Sean Payton. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL. And even though Dennis Allen has been there for a while, I don't think he's going to be a huge drop-off. But I do think he's going to be a drop-off. And although the Saints did upgrade, you mentioned definitely at the safety position, they added 3 different safeties because they lost Marcus Williams. But Teron Armstead is a huge, huge loss. Jameis Winston, we still don't know how well he's going to play. And this isn't really playing for Sean Payton anymore. This is playing for Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael. And so that changes things a little bit. And I hate going under here because that means I think the Saints will finish with a losing record. But I think I got to take the under. I think they go 3-3 in the division. And then with their other 11 games, I think they go 4-7. And, you know, we talked about the Buccaneers schedule being tough. Obviously, the Saints play the same exact schedule except for 3 different games. And the big difference is, you know, the Buccaneers get to play the Saints twice. The Saints don't get to play the Saints twice. They have to play the Buccaneers twice.
Right.
And so, again, you know, they have to play TJ Watt. They have to play Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, Trey Hendrickson. And you know who else? They play Chandler Jones, who's now with the Raiders. And that Raiders defense is looking pretty rough, or pretty tough. So I'm going to take the under here, Brinson.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that the whole Sean Payton departure thing is being wildly undersold by not only, I mean, again, it's 8. It's not a ton of wins, but like, you know, this team wasn't, I mean, they were fine last year. You know, they weren't like a playoff team that actually scared you. And, you know, Sean Payton, as you pointed out, you know, did it with Jameis Winston. Like, I think Dennis Allen is probably capable of being a good head coach. And I think Pete Carmichael is probably capable of being a good offensive coordinator. But these, like the whole organization is operating as if nothing will change with the departure of Sean Payton. Like, he has been the face of the franchise. He has run like every facet of the franchise since he's gotten there. And I mean, like, there's been one season, Bountygate, where he wasn't there. And I believe the Saints were like a 5-win team that year.
Yeah, I think that was 2012.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah. It went 7-9.
Yes, like that seems about right for this team. They took, I mean, Marcus Williams and Teron Armstead are major losses.
Huge.
Like, Teron Armstead, when he's healthy, is one of the best tackles in football, and I just don't know that this team, like, people act like Jameis was good last year, or like, and he was fine, but he didn't like blow me away with how he played. Like, he was mostly conservative and efficient, and when he was efficient like throwing touchdowns, and like they just weren't. They have no juice on offense, and I don't think they're going to be good with, you know, with the Pete Carmichael Jameis Winston combination. And then you point out the schedule, man. Like, if they don't sweep the Panthers and the Falcons, this is a lock for an under.
Yeah, and you look at they didn't ask Jameis Winston to do much, so the rest of the offense has to work. I mean, the one game where the Saints beat the Buccaneers, Jameis Winston threw 10 passes, and the Saints won 36-27. So it's not like he was out there single-handedly taking down Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and they were winning games. When they beat the Packers in Week 1, Jameis only completed 14 passes. So as you mentioned, he was efficient, but he just wasn't. He was almost like their secret weapon. Like Sean Payton's like, we're just gonna run the ball and let our defense.
They're scared to show him. They're like scared to let him cork it loose because they know what would happen.
Right. And so it'll be interesting to see if the Saints take that same route or they try and play it safe. But now you know what the Saints offense is without Drew Brees. And it's going to, because we saw a year of it last season. And I just don't think teams are going to be too frightened of it, even though they did, if they get Michael Thomas back, they drafted a receiver, so the receiving core should be better. But I'm not sure they have a quarterback who's going to be able to take advantage of it.
I tend to agree with you completely, and I would go under on the Saints. I really think the Sean Payton thing matters a ton, and they just I don't trust Jameis to be, someone who can make this offense hum at all.
And if Sean Payton was the coach this year, do you think you take the over?
Yes, at 8 for sure.
Yeah, I feel like you could see them absolutely winning 9 games if Sean Payton's the coach.
Yeah, I mean he's like one of the greatest offensive play callers in the history of football. Like that, you don't replace that easily, even if Pete Carmichael's worked with him forever. So I will go under here. I would have no strong play on it. It wouldn't be an auto bet for me. Like I think it's probably an under, but this division is so tough because the Falcons and Panthers could steal games from the Saints and Bucks. I don't think it'll happen, but if it does, it's going to completely flip. I mean, that's how all divisions work, I guess. But it's just when you pick an over in this division, you are banking on 4 wins against the Saints and the Falcons. I mean, the Panthers and the Falcons. You have to be
right, and that's
right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.